Yes, dear students, hope everybody understood about the problems we solved in the exercise 3B. So the next concept is properties of square numbers. Dear students, in order to simplify the problems in a simplest way, we need to learn some properties. Okay, the properties of square numbers. We have some properties of square numbers. If you learn all those properties, it will be very easy to deal with the problem, or while simplifying the problems, it will be very helpful for us. Okay, let us not waste the time. Let us go with the property one by one. Okay, so here we have different properties. I already written on the board. Okay, so I am going to keep on explaining, and then I will give you one examples for each property. If you catch all these properties, if you learn these properties very well, it will be very easy to simplify the problems. Note this point. Okay. So dear students, the unit digit of the square of a number, the unit digit of a square of a number, of the square of a number is 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9. What do you mean by this statement? Whatever the square numbers are there, we have infinite number of square numbers, isn't it? Since we don't have end to a number, so there is no end for the square numbers also. Okay? Yes. So take all the square numbers, check all the unit digit of all those square numbers. Let me take 1. 1 ones are 1. That means 1 square is equal to 1. So in the square of 1 is the unit digit is 1. Then 2 twos are 4. So the square of 2 is 4. Square of 3 is 9. Square of 4 is 16. 6 came here in the unit digit 6. Square of 5 is 25. So 5 is in unit digit. Square of 6 is 36. 6 is in unit digit. Square of 7 is 49. Yes, 9 is in unit digit. Okay. Square of 8. 8 8s are 64. Again we got 4 in unit digit, isn't it? Then 9 9s are 81. 1 is in unit digit. So up to 9 we have found out. Now if you go on with the other square numbers also, the unit digit what we discussed now, that is 1, 0. Here we have also 0 here. 1, 0. Okay. Then 4. 2 2s are 4, like that. Then 5, 6, 9. In all the square numbers, you will find only such numbers in unit digits, at its unit digits. Is it clear? So let us go with some examples. Already I explained, so let me take some examples here. If I take (24) square. 24 square. I think the square of 24 is 576. 6 is in unit digit. If I take 13 square, 1 is equal to 169. 9 is in unit digit. Again, if I take 1 square, 1 ones are 1, or 9 square, 81. 1 is in unit digit. So like this, whatever the square numbers are there, you take all those square numbers, so you will find only these digits in its units place. 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 9. Suppose if you don't find such digits, such number at its units place in the square of a number, then you can say that, I mean in any number if you find these digits, then it is a square number. It may be a square number. Still we are not perfect with that. Again we have to go with some certain steps to find out whether it is a square number or not. Okay. But if you don't find such digits in a units place, it is very clear those numbers are not a perfect square numbers. Okay, while simplifying the problems I have told you this one, isn't it? So previous problem alli ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ ನಿಮಗೆ 8 ಬಂದಿತ್ತು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ. 8 is not here, so it is not a perfect square number. Understood? So here it is there. Property number 2, a number having 2, 3, 7 or 8. Suppose if a number is having 2, then 3 then 7 or 8 in its units place, clearly we can say that it is not a perfect square number. Understood? So let me go with some example. Suppose if I have a number 24 is not a perfect square number because 23 is not a perfect square number since 3 is in units place. Then 48 is not a perfect square number since we have 8 in its units place. Then 57, 7 is in the units place, so clearly we can say that it is not a perfect square. Like this, if you want to take any number of digits, for example 15,768, clearly I can say that this number is not at all a perfect square number since we have 8 in its units place. So ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳ್ರಿ, whenever you find these digits, that is 2, 3, 7 or 8 in its units place, then we can say that the number itself not a perfect square number. This is the second property. So you should learn this very well. You should be knowing this very well to identify which number is a perfect square number, whether the number is a perfect square or not. This you have to find out. Next property, if a number 1 or 9 at its units place, try to understand, it is just a number, I am speaking about just a number. If a number having 1 or 9 at its units place, then the square of that number will be 1 only. I mean the unit digit of the square of a number will be 1. Try to understand it very clearly. If a number 1 or 9 at its units place, then the square of this number always as 1 at its units place. What do you mean by this? Let me check. Then 1 square, suppose I'll take an example 1. The square of 1 is 1. So 1 is in unit digit. Then if I take 11, so square of 11 is equal to 121. Clear? Then next if I take 9, so 9 square is equal to 81. So unit digit will be 1. If I take 19, understood? If I take 29, whatever the numbers you take in the unit place 9 and in the unit place 1, the square of those numbers will be having 1 at its unit digit. Any doubts? Shall I give you one more example? 21 into 21, how much? 21 square. 21 square. What value barutte? Let me check. I forgot actually. 21 square is around 421 something eno barutte. Let me check. 1 1s are 1, 1 2s are 2, 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. 441. Yes, I told you 421 and it's a 441. So 21 square is 441. So 1 is in unit digit. See here 1 in the unit digit of a number, then the square of that number will be also having 1 at its unit digit. Clear? Any doubts? Yes, this is about property 3. ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ನಂಬರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ 1 ಮತ್ತು 9 ಅಥವಾ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಸ್ಕ್ವಯರ್ ನಂಬರಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಡಿಜಿಟಲಿ 1 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಕೀಪ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ we shall go for the question number, property 4. What does this property 4 says? Instead of 1 or 9, I am going to take it 4 or 6. See, dear students, if we have a 4 in the unit digit of a number, then that square will be also having 6. If we have 6 in its unit digit of a number, then the square of that number will be having 6 at its unit digit. So let me check. 4 square is equal to 16. 6 is in unit digit. Then 6 square is equal to 36. 6 is in unit digit. Then 26 square is 676. 6 is in unit digit. Like this, if a number having 4 or 6 in its unit digit, then the square of those number also will be having 6 at its unit digit. This is the property. Okay, this is property number 4. So the next one, fifth property, if a number ends with n zeros, for example, if a number is having 1 0, that is 10, then the square of 10 will be having 2 zeros. If a number ends with 2 zeros, the square of that number ends with 4 zeros. Twice the number of zeros in the number. Understood? Suppose 10 square. So only 1 0 we have in a number, then the square of 10 will be having 2 zeros, ends with 2 zeros. Then 90, so 9 nines are 81, 2 zeros, 1 0 is there, 2 zeros. Suppose we have 3 zeros in a number, 1, 2, 3 zeros are there in the number, then the square of this number will be having 6 zeros. Like this. Hope you can understand. It is only about the number of zeros. Don't get confused. Okay, whatever the number will be in the other digits, at the end, if you have 1 0, it will be 2 zeros in the square of a number. If you have 2 zeros at the end of a number, then we will be having 4 zeros in the square of that particular number at the end. Understood? So 1 idre 2 irutte, then 3 idre 6 irutte. So that is why we have made a statement here, if a number ends with n zeros, then its square numbers ends with 2n zeros, 2 times, twice the number of zeros we have in the number. Any doubts? Yes. The next property is a perfect square number leaves remainder 0 or 1 on dividing it by 3. Take any square number. If I take 25 is a square number. If you divide it by 3, the remainder will be 0 or 1. Okay, let me check. 25 divided by 3 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ರಿಮೈಂಡರು? Okay, 3 4s are, oh sorry, not 3 4s are, 3 8s are 24. 1 is the remainder. Okay, so then if I take the next number 81, if I divide this 81 by 3, so 3 2s are 6, 2 will be a remainder, then 3 7s are 3 27s are 81, 0 is the remainder. Hope you can understand what I am telling. ನೀವು ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು 3 ಇಂದ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ ಒಂದು ರಿಮೈಂಡರ್ 1 ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ರಿಮೈಂಡರ್ 0 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್. ಟೇಕ್ ಎನಿ ಬಿಗ್ ನಂಬರ್, ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ನಂಬರ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಬೈ 3, the remainder will be clearly 0 or 1. Next, for any natural number n plus 1 whole square minus n square will be in the form of n plus 1 plus n, or it can be taken as 2n plus 1. For this, let me take one example. 8 square minus 7 square. Idru value find out ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ. So that is why in order to find such values only we have this property. We can make use of this property to simplify such problems. 8 square ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 7 square ಇದೆ. Both are consecutive, no? 8 ಆದಮೇಲೆ 7 ಆದಮೇಲೆ 8 ಬರುತ್ತೆ, 8 ಗಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ 7 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So these two numbers can be called as consecutive squares. 7 square, 8 square. So this 8 square can be written as in this form, n plus 1 whole square. That is 7 plus 1 whole square. 8 ನಾನು ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಓಕೆ, minus 7 square. Any doubts? So at that time, what is the value of n here? The value of n is 7. So 2n plus 1 ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದನ್ನೇ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. 2n plus 1. Here n is equal to 7. So the value will be 2 into 7 plus 1, 15. Hope you can understand. 15 will be the difference between 8 square minus 7 square. Instead of finding those square numbers and subtracting, if we use this 2n plus 1 or n plus 1 plus n, you will get the answer. Let me check. 8 square is 64, 8 8s are 64. Then 7 7s are 49. 14 minus 9 is 5, 5 minus 4 is 1. 15 is the difference. So we got this difference using this formula. Okay, so whenever you find n plus 1 whole square minus n square, that can be represented in the form of n plus 1 plus n or 2n plus 1, simple. Any doubts? Yes. Dear student, these are some of the properties which definitely help you to solve many different problems. These all ideas are very important, so please go through it, practice it once. Okay, so one more property is there, let me tell you. Suppose if you take first n odd numbers, the square of all those first, the sum of the square of first n odd numbers will be n square only. Let me tell you. 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7. What is the value? 1 2 3 4 square, that will be equal to 16. Let me check. 1 plus 3 4, 4 plus 5 9, 9 plus 7 16. It's very simple. So if you take 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 plus 13 plus 15. So instead of adding this number separately, what I will do, just I will take 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 8 square, 8 8s are 64. So this is one more property. You just keep this in mind. Okay, it is in your textbook also, just once you go through it. Clear, dear students? The sum of first n natural numbers will be equal to n square. Simple statement. The sum of first n odd numbers, okay, odd numbers, the sum of first n odd numbers will be equal to n square. Clear? So these are some of the properties, definitely help you to simplify the problems in the higher classes. So here it ends the chapter squares and square roots. If you really have any doubts, please text me with the question number. Sir, please, I have not understood this question, explain me one more time. Okay, so I'll make an arrangement to reach you guys. Okay, based on this explanations, I'll give you a thorough notes of this chapter Okay, whenever you feel difficult, then only you just go through the notes, or else just with the help of this explanation, simplify all the problems in your exercise. Okay, any doubts? Yes, thank you.